dream that my four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Well, it turns out that Martin Luther King's dream came true, because all this while, many Black Americans were being judged by the content of their character. Sincerely and honestly, the situation is not looking good for Black people. We hoped we would be judged by the content of our character. We hoped we would be judged by the way we behaved, by the things we did, by the actions we took, by the content of our character. And surprise, surprise, that is the way we were being judged all along. And you know what? That is exactly how we are being judged now, too. This has been made evident by the introduction of body cameras, cell phone cameras, social media. In the past, it was easy for us to deny the obvious degeneracy a lot of us engage in, and it was easy for us to cry victimhood and racism. But today, since the normalization of cameras and social media capturing everything, it is no longer easy to lie our way out of all these stereotypes that we have proven correct. Martin Luther King claimed he had a dream where his children, his descendants, will be judged by how they behaved. That dream backfired more than ever. And now, some of those children, some of those descendants of his are now blaming him for their failures, calling him out for wanting such a dream in the first place. They have turned on him after realizing that his dream did not favor them at all. It is all both hilarious and unbelievable, guys. The length these people would go just to avoid taking accountability. Please take a listen to this Black queen.
I blame Martin Luther King, and this is a Black-only conversation, so if you're not Black, do not respond.
Well, I'm African. That means I'm Black, so I'm responding.
He had a dream to integrate us with the most hateful people that lynched, raped, beat, and killed us and worked us to death. These are the literal descendants, the great, 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 great grandchildren of these slave masters and racists. And these are things that have been taught at home since birth. This was his dream, mind you. Mind you. And they took his ass out. And by the end, he realized where he f***ed up at. And look at where the f*** we are. Years and years and years later.
These people are so insufferable. So first off, this woman doesn't agree that people who look like this and people who look like this should coexist peacefully together. Okay, she is against it. Yet she won't vacate the United States of America, where you have a very high percentage of people who look like this. Yet she won't move to Africa, the Wakanda land, where she would be around only people who look like this, who look like her. She stays firmly on American soil, probably receiving all kinds of welfare, enjoying the benefits of a thriving first world society, while criticizing their so-called hero, Martin Luther King, whom I thought they loved so much. She is criticizing him just for hoping and dreaming that people like her get to live in luxury in America amongst people who look like this. So if you're gonna spew this type of nonsense, at least why don't you take the next flight to Africa on a one-way ticket nonetheless, okay? And don't come back. Then record this video from over there in the motherland. Then maybe we may take you seriously. But no, she won't leave the United States of America. She won't film this video from Africa, but she would make senseless videos criticizing peaceful coexistence between humans. What exactly does she want? To see people at loggerheads? Is that what she wants? To see enmity thrive? To see these people fighting and quarreling with these people? What a troublemaking woman. She probably understands that the very minuscule population of those individuals who had slaves in the past are all dead. Yes, I said minuscule population because a very little percentage of the white population back in the day were the people who owned slaves, and they were only, the rich elites. Okay? And what we have today are a very tiny number of their great grandchildren, innocent individuals who neither owned slaves nor were alive during slavery. Yet, she somehow still wants these innocent individuals hated and despised and fought with and quarreled with and made enemies with. This woman didn't even pause to understand that, like I said before, only a very minuscule population of white Americans owned slaves during slavery. A very small percentage of them, and only the rich guys. Majority of the white people never owned slaves. Also, many of these people who are being accused of one slavery crime or the other today by people like this woman are nothing but innocent immigrants whose parents or grandparents just immigrated into America not so long ago. These so-called descendants of slave masters, who many of the fatigue generators accuse of lynching and raping, are simply immigrants who moved to the United States over the years. People from Poland, people from Ireland, from Denmark, from Netherlands, from Lebanon, from Serbia, from Romania, from Russia, Finland, and so many other European nations who are innocent as far as the transatlantic slave trade is concerned. But morons like this woman claim they are all racist slave descendants and does not deserve to coexist peacefully with high and mighty FBAs. In case you're wondering what FBA means, it is a term that people like this woman use to describe themselves, okay? They call themselves foundational Black Americans. Foundational, okay? They claim they originated in America. They were the main Americans, even more American than the Red Indians. They say they are indigenous to the American soil. They didn't come on no slave ships. We didn't come on no slave ships, okay? They believe the history of the transatlantic slavery was just a trick used by people like this to fool their people into believing that they were not indigenous to the land. But on certain occasions, when they forget themselves, they start believing that the transatlantic slavery was actually real, and they start demanding for reparations, and they start making claims like this. They accept they were enslaved and they start demanding reparations, just like this one is doing today. She claims the current white people shouldn't, get to coexist peacefully with her kind because of slavery. These people will screw with your brain to the point of rendering you almost stupid. It is a hard job making sense of their words, but I try my best.
And look at where the we are. Years and years and years later.
Yes, I see where you are after years and years and years, and I see where you are. You are in the most powerful nation on earth. Yes, you are living the most envied life on earth. Majority of your brothers and sisters in Wakanda land, in Africa, would sell everything they have just to be where you are right now, just to move to where you are right now. They would trade places with you in a flash. That is to tell you how good you have it. You are in the most enabling society for Black people, where Black people's voices are amplified by several forces and heard and listened to. A society that listens to your demand and bends to your will. You are in a society that have subsidized your life to the point of incapacitating you, making you incapable of taking responsibility for your welfare and doing jobs to provide for your daily life. A society that is so eager to give you welfare, EBT, you name them. So much so that you can live the life of a king while not working a day in your life. A society that voted for a president that looks exactly like you. Not once, but twice. A society that has empowered people that look like you beyond measure. So yeah, I see where the F you are after years and years and years and years. But hey, if you are so opposed to getting all these benefits, if you are so opposed to living together peacefully with these guys in America, I totally understand. Okay, I do. So Why don't you leave? Why don't you go away? Why haven't you joined those of your ilk crying racism and discrimination from their fellow black people in places like Kenya and Uganda and Tanzania and Ghana? Why don't you join those of them who moved back to the Wakanda land? Why are you still in the United States of America? And don't tell me you lack the funds to self-deport, because I am sure that there are many people who would easily pay for a one-way, no-return ticket for you to relocate yourself to Wakanda land. So, this is a peaceful reminder to stop televising your stupidity, your ignorance on social media, and start taking some needed actions. Send yourself back to Africa. Since you disagree with peaceful coexistence, go back to Wakanda land, and hey, don't let the door hit you on your way out. But as always, guys, these are my thoughts and my opinions. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below, but do so respectfully. Also, if you're not subscribed to this channel, honestly, I don't know what you're waiting for. Subscribe to the channel, like and share this video to keep people informed, and consider joining my membership or buying me a coffee if you like, as a way of supporting the channel. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Now, peace.